one of the strategies getting into top schools, you need to have a comprehensive strategy. You cannot wait
Mhm.
till junior year. You cannot wait till senior year. You have to put that plan in place well in advance. Every point your child earns now compounds into more opportunity later. You're stacking the wins now. That's going to give you the most amount of doors open later.
And the more that you can get from different scholarship opportunities, doing well on these exams, you're not only cutting the cost, but there's more value added in that return on your investment.
All right.
Perfect.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, people that are going to be joining here probably a little late, too. The chat is going to be open. We are back again for another web series for our families. Title of ours program tonight, How U.S. and Immigrant Families Use the PSAT to Get College for Free, because there is a way to leverage this. And I'm joined by Dr. Roslynn, who is one of our college admission coaches here at SupportED Tutoring. Welcome, Dr. Roslynn. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to talk to all the families about merit-based scholarships and, hopefully get some of those questions answered that's been lingering. So really excited to be here.
Amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time. You're out in sunny California. We're here in
Absolutely.
40-degree weather. I'm
Oh
sure you miss
no.
back home with the 40 degrees. So all right. So we'll get started. So just like last week, we'll start off with a series of true or false questions. Dr. Roslyn, I'll ask you just the question one, true or false. The PSAT is just a practice test. It doesn't count for scholarships.
That is going to be false.
That is false. Why is that?
Well, the PSAT, and the NMSQT is the qualifying test for national-based merit scholarships, which leads to over 180 million in scholarships every year for juniors. Um, this test absolutely counts, and it's very important. Even though it may be looked at as a practice test, you can actually get thousands of dollars just for taking it and qualifying for that National Merit Scholarship Program.
All right. So people joining us right now, we're going to ask again, true or false on the next question. If you want to put in the chat, true or false, it should be, let me make sure everyone is here. You can see the chat. Just put in the chat, true or false, let us know. So how many of you your kids have already taken the PSAT? 10th grade, 11th grade is the one that counts. But for our next question, true or false, only U.S. citizens can win national merit or college merit scholarships. Go ahead and put in the chat. We got one saying false, one saying false. Rashimi says false. If he says false, what is it, Dr. Roslin?
That is absolutely false. You guys are correct. Merit-based scholarships are funded by colleges, not the federal government. Many universities, including Alabama, ASU, and Toulouse, offer full ride merit aid to visa and immigrant students. That includes H-1B, H-4, F-1, DACA, and more. So good job on that one, guys.
Right. And then question number 3, the National Merit Scholarship, true or false, only gives $2,500, so it's really not worth chasing. Go ahead and put in the comments, everyone, true or false. Only $2,500. RP says false. Stacy says false. Rashimi says false. What is it, Dr. Roslyn?
You guys are on the ball today. It is absolutely false. This $2,500 award is just the minimum. The real value actually comes from college-sponsored scholarships, which can exceed $100,000 to $250,000 in total tuition savings. That is huge savings across the board for a college student. So great job on that one, guys.
$250,000 in total savings. All right. Question 4. Strong PSAT scores, true or false, also predict success in AP and SAT exams. Rashimi says true. If he says true, got some parent participation.
Great.
All right. It is true.
Absolutely. Research from the College Board actually shows that students who excel on that PSAT exam are more likely to earn high SAT and AP scores, which leads to more merit aid and even early college credit. So you definitely want to make sure that when you take that PSAT, that take it a little bit seriously, because that can also help you get more merit-based dollars as well.
Absolutely. All right, last one, question 5. If immigrant families can prepare for or benefit from the PSAT as much as U.S. families, true or false? Shimi says false. Stacy says false. If he says false, what is it, Dr. Roslyn?
It's absolutely false. You guys are really on it today. In fact, many immigrant families benefit more because this plan offers early and focused excuse me, because they plan early and focus strategically. With the right roadmap, the PSAT, SAT, and AP and scholarships all trickles down to free debt and free college, which is completely achievable. So these things line directly up. Your PSAT, getting a high score on that goes straight into the practice and the preparation for the SAT. Those AP courses trickles down to the scholarships, to your free debt, and hopefully, free college completely if that's available for you.
Yeah, guys, I still work in a school, and so like people don't kids don't take these tests seriously, the PSAT,
Hmm.
because they think it's a practice SAT. Um, Absolutely the wrong strategy, because more and more kids are now leveraging practice PSAT to set them up for success. Now, this all goes back to starting early. And if you want to get into a top university, or even if you just want, so we work with a lot of kids, we're going to get into that in a minute. But one of the strategies getting into top schools, top 20, the elite, the super elite, the Ivy Leagues, those kind of schools, Stanford, you need to have a comprehensive strategy. You cannot wait
Hmm.
till junior year. You cannot wait till senior year. You have to put that plan in place well in advance. But for those that are not looking for top schools, if you want to save the maximum amount of money, you also need to plan early. That's one of the key
Exactly.
takeaways I want everyone to understand. The reason being, your college education is now going to be a 6-figure investment minimum,
Hmm.
even state schools. And there are many opportunities to leverage a bunch of different levers in high school to make those costs way more affordable and come down. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. We talked about FAFSA and the CSS profile last week. We're talking about PSAT because it is still PSAT season. The most have already taken the first 2 weeks of
Hmm.
October, but we're kind of winding down. So once again, I'm Dr. Joe Sebestyen, the founder of SupportED Tutoring. I've been in education, still actively in education, 16 years. I have a master's and doctorate in educational leadership. We've helped over 1,000 students not only ace their AP and IB exams, we have also saved over $1 million in college tuition costs for our students in our college program. And what our mission right now, we're helping students and families find their dream school and save
Hmm.
really big on college tuition. Join with me is one of our wonderful college coaches, Dr. Roslynn. Go ahead and give me a little background on you so families know.
Absolutely. So, hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Roslynn Hyneman. I have been in higher education for 10 plus years, guiding students towards their college and academic achievements and career success. I have experience in admissions, via recruitment, academic support, and also workforce development. I've worked across different educational entities as well as nonprofits such as the YMCA, Ursuline College, Kent State University, and I'm truly committed to equity, access, and success of students, and really helping them build the most authentic selves and reaching those educational goals.
Thank you. What I love about you, Dr. Roslyn, is that you have so much experience working with kids from diverse backgrounds. Um,
Absolutely.
College admissions is not cookie cutter. Students are not cookie
No,
cutter. I
absolutely.
think everyone thinks that an Ivy League student looks like this or
Mm-mm.
at the top. It is so different. And it is achievable for everyone as long as we're in strategic alignment with our goals. And so, with that, I think, just most parents think the PSAT is just a practice SAT or warm up. But if you don't mind, we're going to kind of get into your part of this. But like, tonight, I want to let you guys know you're going to see something different. I know we're a little late on the PSAT season. The window technically doesn't close till the 31st, but
Hmm.
this is the one exam taken once in 10th grade. Not everyone does it in 10th grade, but
Right.
a lot of schools more and more doing 10th grade. We do. We pay for our kids to go 10th grade. But 11th grade one is the one that counts.
Hmm.
And leveraging this exam can literally unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarship. I've seen it firsthand. So even for students who aren't thinking about college yet, whether your teen's a high achiever or just getting started, the PSAT is the secret door to
Mhm.
college money. It is the foundation point, and tonight we'll show you just how to open that up. So, without further ado, Dr. Roslynn, will go ahead and walk us through kind of like what this is, and
Absolutely.
yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. So, as Dr. Joe, mentioned, every college student is different. But we want to prepare you to have the most success, and get the most dollars and most bang out of your buck when you are looking to apply to these different colleges and universities. So the PSAT, um, the I always say this wrong. The NMS
I don't want to say it correctly. NMSQT.
MSQT. And I know it's a bit of an alphabet soup there, but that stands for the preliminary SAT, and the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. So you guys may have just heard of this as the PSAT, but that's actually what it stands for in total. Again, it's given every October to 10th and 11th graders nationwide. We do see a majority of students take that PSAT their 11th grade year, but I would highly suggest, if you have the opportunity as a sophomore, to go ahead and take that exam. The sooner the better. The more preparation you're able to get, the more you're able to figure out the structure of that PSAT.
And
Big,
the one that
yeah.
counts for the merit scholarship is the 11th grade year. So you almost have a
Hmm.
warm up to the warm up,
Hmm.
right? But
Absolutely.
so just so we're clear on that. Go ahead.
No, no problem. It's run by the College Board and the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. If you don't know about these two entities, I would highly suggest just looking into them for some background knowledge. And the timing is typically October of the sophomore or junior year. So that window is still a little bit open, but most schools have already distributed that, and students have already taken that PSAT at
Yeah.
this point.
I'm realizing I shouldn't have put a my fake background on and wore in a green sweater at the same time. So I apologize, everyone. I'm transitioning offices at my home right now. So I got kicked out of an office for my daughter's new bedroom. So I'm downstairs. Just don't want you to see my messy bookshelf yet. But real quick in the chat, because I saw some latecomers come on. Welcome. If you can let me know in the chat, let us know in the chat how many your parents, obviously, if you have a 9th, 10th, or 11th grader on the call, or 12th grader, just put
Mm.
the number in the chat, just so I know who we're talking to tonight, so we can best kind of steer you in that way. Do we have a lot of junior families? Do we have a lot of 10th grade families, 9th grade? Where are we at? If you can just put in the chat your number, what child? We got 10th and 12th grader, Iffy. Okay, cool. Senior, 10th grader. Catalina, welcome. Anyone else want to share? No one else wants to share. We're going quiet on the chat. It's okay. Okay, we'll continue. So we're right in the middle of PSAT season. And what is the purpose there, Dr. Roslin?
Yeah, the purpose is to practice for the SAT and qualify for that national merit recognition. And why does the PSAT actually matter? I think that's the biggest question for tonight. Why does it matter? Sure, like we said, it is practice for the SAT, but it can also be the first step towards college readiness, and that's huge, in getting that initial practice for that exam, but then also just college readiness in general. It determines the national merit eligibility for juniors, as well as opening doors to different corporate and college scholarships, which we'll talk about a little bit later on.
Okay, so real quick, just to pause there. The people in the chat, people watching the replay, the millions of joining on the replays on our YouTube channel.
Mhm.
College Board is an organization.
Mhm.
It is, we're not going to call them the mafia, but let's just say they are the gatekeepers for all things college, right? So the College Board runs the PSAT,
Mhm.
College Board runs the SAT, the College Board runs the AP exams. Three very important levers. This information, I mean, they are a partially a data management system. Once you start getting into the College Board, once your child gets in the College Board, that information is now going to be shared across the College Board community,
Mhm.
linked to the various colleges and universities. So this is like anytime we put information out there, whether voluntary, involuntary, we want to make sure we're putting our best information out there.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, for many of our 10th and 9th, 11th graders, they're not necessarily thinking like that because they're still children, right? They're
Mhm.
still teenagers, and they're not necessarily weighing long-term consequences of this. But it is very, very important, especially if we're just not taking it seriously, blowing through this, because that data
Mhm.
is not only mined and sold to not, I mean, leveraged in college and universities, but national scholarships as well.
Absolutely.
So again, preparing and making sure we're leveraging that is going to be very, very important.
Absolutely. In addition to
Go
that,
ahead, Dr. Ross.
it builds, yeah, it builds the early visibility with colleges through student college search, which is kind of what Dr. Joe was talking about. You know, you're once these exam scores are submitted, you're essentially putting yourself out there as a potential candidate for that college search. And it's not just a test. It's your child's first official, and as a student, it's your first official academic record seen by colleges, which you want to put your best foot forward in that way.
Yeah. So let's break it down. It's evidence-based reading and writing, which is going to be very, very important at higher level. So the reading is literature, history, science passages. The writing is going to be grammar, clarity, argument structure. Then there's the math section, and that's algebra, problem solving, data analysis, and then geometry, trigonometry, pre-calculus basis. So there's a little bit
Mhm.
of everything in here. We usually don't recommend children take the SAT, teenagers take the SAT until they're past algebra 2. So
Mhm.
there's some pre-algebra 2 stuff in the PSAT as well. The total time for the exam is 2 hours, 45 minutes. Scores range from 320 to 1520. So not the full 1600 of the SAT, but they are early predictors of SAT success.
Mhm.
And how does the scoring work there, Dr. Roslin?
Yeah, so the scoring is actually broken down in a percentile rank, and it compares your students to others nationwide. So when you look at that, there's a selection index. What adds the three test scores and multiplies by two, and we'll show you how it's kind of broken down in a second. That's the number used for the national merit qualification.
Okay, so it's really important because, like,
Hmm.
I literally watched one of our graduates last year get a full ride to the University of South Carolina, the other USC out there, uh,
Hmm.
for full ride. And that she won national merit. So like this is the information.
Yeah, so you're going to have that that reading and writing total score plus the math. You equal that out. So as you can see, if you get a 700 on the reading and writing, 700 on the math, your total is going to be 1400. With that selection index, you're going to add those two scores, divide it by 10 times 2, and that's where you'll get your merit qualification score.
Yeah, so 140, and it can be a little misleading because you're like, what does that mean?
Hmm.
And so it's going to vary by state because each
Hmm.
state has some cut off for semifinalist.
Absolutely.
So
So,
how do we make this free?
the top 1% of 11th graders become semifinalists.
Right.
So you have to consider that as well. So it's the top 1%, and it's broken down from there. So we have about 16,000 semifinalists nationally. I mean, and then that breaks down to 15,000 finalists, and then enclosed around 8,000 national merit scholars. So again, the 1%. These awards can be from 2,500 to $10,000 from national merit corporations. Um, in addition, there's other value added, right? So the real value comes from the college partners offering the full tuition or even full rides.
So there's a little bit of scholarship from the national merit, but the schools actually offer the most amount of money when
Hmm.
they're in partners with this. And so here are some real examples just to kind of break it down. These are not limited, but again,
Hmm.
real quick, because we'll have a Q&A at the end. Um, that you're not going to see many Ivy Leagues on here because everyone that goes there could be potentially a national merit scholar. So
Hmm.
you're going to see, and this is where it comes down to a personal journey for everyone's family, is that you economically, a lot of the bigger schools, the state schools, they're going to give more money
Hmm.
than private because they're there's a different structure there. So University of Alabama, they can give a full ride, all 4 years, plus $5,000 a year stipend, total $200,000. I can't believe 4 years at Alabama is $20,000 or $200,000. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, full tuition, housing, research grants, 130,000. Tulsa, full tuition, housing, 120. Arizona State, full tuition, honors college, 100,000. So they're going into the honors college as well. Texas A&M, Kentucky, others, full or partial tuition. So it does vary. I've seen a lot of generosity from the southern schools and some schools out west. So imagine turning one Saturday morning test into debt-free college experience. So typically the PSAT can be given during the school day. There are some schools that are site-based testing. They can give the test on non-school day, but there are other corporate and university sponsored awards. So there's big employers like Google, Boeing, IBM, Pfizer offer corporate merit scholarships for employee dependents. Universities also use the PSAT results to award presidential, regent, and provost scholarships. So there's a ton of money there. And even if you work for one of these companies, you can see, or if you don't, you can ask, you work for a pretty big company, if their HR, if their company participates in this. So, and then there's early college visibility. So Dr. Roslynn, how does this help when you're working with students in terms of the college coaching process for that visibility?
Absolutely. So when you are getting scores that for that PSAT, again, that practice exam, and now your name's in this pool, it tells the college, it allows the college board to run this data through the student search service. High scores typically get specific things, right? It's almost like you're now getting recognized by different colleges that are out there. You get those personalized recruitment letters, different fee waivers, and then of course scholarship offers, addition to the merit-based scholarship.
Real quick, anyone on the in the chat right now, anyone watching, is your child trying to potentially play a sport in college, maybe go for the arts? Anyone in the chat, just type Y if they're looking to potentially play sports in college or in the band. We got any potential student athletes out there? We got whoops.
Volleyball, yeah.
We got volleyball. Stacy's volleyball. Okay. Anyone else? Just Stacy. We got a volleyball player. We're in our volleyball state playoffs right now. We got one out. Okay. Well, again, to the people watching the replay, if your child is a student athlete or wants to be a student athlete, if that's even the potential, understand that the NIL and the transfer portal have changed the entire game of college admissions for student athletes. The big money makers, I'm sorry to say, are football and basketball in terms of the full rides. A lot of schools are going to leverage a combination of athletic scholarships and academic scholarships. So you're going to get recruitment letters almost like you're an athlete, but that also, if you're looking to do the parallel process of getting recruited as an athlete, is going to really make you very desirable for recruiting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, academics are going to be very important in that case, in any case, in trying to get additional scholarships. So this is especially powerful for immigrant families still learning the U.S. system. In addition to that, it does not stop there. That PSAT into that AP and SAT college experience, the student who performs well on that PSAT tends to excel on the AP and the SAT. So those other important scores that are important to the college experience and the merit value and scholarship value that you can get. Higher SAT equals higher merit aid.
Right. And so we talked about this last week on the CSS profile and merit-based aid. So regardless of your citizenship, your immigration status, your child can still earn college credits and merit-based aid just by high academic performance. It's not tied to income, which is really, really beneficial. So you go ahead.
Oh, no, no problem. No problem. AP credits can actually save you around $10,000 to $30,000 in tuition, which is huge.
That's
Absolutely
average.
huge.
That's
Yeah.
average because like literally we have an AP calculator. We were running one for a kid who wanted to go to Oregon. The amount of AP classes he was taking would save him over $63,000
Wow.
with if he got 4s and 5s on all the exams. So right now, we
Mm,
got AP parents out there. Your child taking an AP course or about to take an AP course, taking those AP exams matter. Say yes in the chat if you got an AP student. We got one, iffy. Anyone else? Low participation in the
mhm.
chat. We got one. There we go. Rashini, yes.
A couple
Stacy,
more.
yes, yes. There we go. Okay, we got AP parents out there. Those exams matter. Larissa says
Hmm.
yes, right? So every point your child earns now compounds into more opportunity later. We suck at teaching financial literacy in schools.
Hmm.
So kids don't even know what compound interest is, but like you're stacking the wins now, that's going to give you the most amount of doors open later.
Absolutely. And you want to, all this considered because you want the best return on your investment. And the more that you can get from different scholarship opportunities, doing well on these exams, you're not only cutting the cost, but there's more value added in that return on your investment, right? Immigrant families, this is especially important for you. The visa status does not block merit aid, only need-based aid. So the doors are wide open. Merit-based scholarships are based on academic achievement, not on citizenship. So keep that in mind. So focus on the national merit track, colleges with authentic merit aid, and early SAT prep and AP planning, which we provide through our services. And from what I hear from students, they have really been beneficial. It's not about where you start, it's about knowing the system and playing it smart. So hopefully this conversation will help you start to build those tools and get a better understanding of how to play it smart and get those dollars.
Thank you, Dr. Roslyn. So we're going
Mhm,
to have Q&A here in a little bit. I'll just say this. College admissions is changing very fast.
mhm,
There is so like two things I want to just highlight. Let me pull out of the slideshow for a second. So I'm an educator. Dr. Roslyn is an educator. There are a lot
mhm,
of college admission companies out there that are not educational based, and meaning that they're set up by people who don't necessarily work in the day-to-day grind of education. Why does that matter? Why is that important? I'm just going to give you an idea. So I've seen a lot of marketing for other college companies out there that tell you that scores don't matter, the
mhm,
GPA doesn't matter, things like that. You just need a really good essay, you just need a really good personal story. Yes, however, grades matter. Okay, anyone out there want to go to Stanford? Anyone family out there dream school Stanford? Say yes in the chat. Say yes in the chat if you're at Stanford. Want to go to Stanford? It's a beautiful school. Not us. Stacy says no. Where you want to go, Stacy? Where you guys want to go? Where you want to go, Stacy? You got to say now where you want to go. You don't want to be a tree? Not even mascot to tree, Stanford tree. BU. Is that Boston University? Oh, nice. Hope you like snow. Dr. Ross, you're out in sunny California. How many kids want to go to Stanford? A lot.
A lot of students do, but a lot of students want to go to a variety of places, a variety of
Mm,
Ivy League schools. So I find that with the students that I'm working with, they're not really location bound, which is great. We have a lot of high achievers, but
right.
I think I've only run into maybe one or two that's had it on their list, that are looking at Stanford as an option. Yeah.
Okay. So again, for the replay people, because here, Stanford is a bellwether school. It's
Hmm.
not technically part of the Ivy League, but it's in the super elite. Stanford, as of 2025, is now requiring
Hmm.
AP exam scores for everything on the transcript, meaning you can no longer take a bunch of AP classes and not submit the AP exam score. And
Mm.
what do you think they're going to want to see on those transcripts? They're going to want to see the fives from the score. College Board controls the score. Why is that important? Because you're playing the game, the GPA game of
Right.
I work at an affluent school. Like I'm telling you
Hmm.
that I know this. Kids take a bunch of AP courses, but they don't sit for the exams.
Hmm.
So what you're telling college admissions is that you're telling them one of two things. Either you're too lazy and you're just taking it for the GPA boost because you get a 1.0 bump or whatever, or you didn't do well on the exam and that's why you didn't submit a score. AP exams count, tests count. There's bad advertisement out there that tests are optional, they don't count anymore. Do you know how many students got into Stanford with a less than 1,500 SAT score, Dr. Roslynn? We just had this stat today. Do you know how many?
I do not know, but now extremely curious.
One person
Wow.
with less than a 1,500 SAT. So
Wow.
you have to have a near perfect SAT to get to
Mm-hmm.
Stanford, and you have to have top AP scores. Okay, so it's not, your GPA has to be there too. So it is
Mm-hmm.
extremely competitive.
Oh
The
yeah.
the Ivy Leagues, the super elite, the elite, they literally have the choice of hundreds of thousands of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that to put pressure, I'm just saying to put understanding that this is not something you can piecemeal. My kid has good grades, my kid has a good GPA, like they're gonna be fine. Granted, they will, but if your dream is to go into a top school, if your
Right.
dream is to leverage the maximum amount of money, you have to start the planning now. You really
Mm-hmm.
can't just like wing it. It is a game. This is a game. Like
Mm-hmm.
it sucks, but it is a game, and it's changing all the time.
Absolutely.
So get into how we actually help families. What do we actually do with this? So we started out as a tutoring company, an education company, but we've actually built systems upon that. Our other name that we go by, ACE and AP exams, we help kids ace their AP exams, but we've now become more comprehensive in that. So we want to help kids with that PSAT AP college roadmap. So starting with just knowing, if you like, we have our parent here for Boston University, like knowing what are the steps you need to take
Mm-hmm.
to get there, and what does the scores look like, and how much money you can get. So we have a program that helps build a personalized roadmap from PSAT to college success. We have a program that you can access expert tutors in every AP subject. You can get one-on-one strategy calls for scholarship and college planning. Dr. Roslyn is one of our wonderful college coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have tools that can help you with best fit university and aid options. So collectively, our families on average saved over $50,000 on average through strategic PSAT, SAT, AP planning. So as a bonus for tonight's attendees, I got a couple things. One, we do have a really, really pretty guide I'm going to show here. So everything we talked about tonight, I'm going to have a guide sent out, a PDF that breaks this all down. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have a spouse, a child, obviously you probably have children, a
Mm-hmm.
loved one, a friend that could use it, we'll give this guide out to everybody tonight, and everyone that attended. So you don't have to remember all this information, but it will be on a replay. But it basically breaks down what we talked about tonight. But we're also giving you, as a bonus for attending, a free PSAT AP Success roadmap. So it's a personalized report. It includes the national merit eligibility projection just based on the information you give us, the recommended, which is very important, AP course lineup, not just taking a shotgun spray of all the AP courses. You want to be strategic in that. The target scholarships and college matches, plus a one-on-one consultation link for next steps, just kind of walking you through this entire process of how to get there. So now you know the PSAT isn't just a practice test. It is the first steps towards free college money and future opportunity. So again, we're built to guide families like yours from PSA to scholarship, so your teen can go through further, faster, and debt free. That's the biggest thing. It's not just getting in, it's getting in and saving the most amount of money. So, with that, if you want a free call and roadmap, and the call is to help you understand how to read the roadmap, because we literally walk you through this. So, it is completely free. If you're not on your phone, you're watching on a computer, you can scan the QR code. It takes you to, I believe, a booking link to book the call, which will trigger the roadmap prompts. And then there's also the URL. Let's see where this goes real quick here. Um, yeah, I believe. So what you'll do on the next steps, so and you could ask questions. Basically, is you'll book a call with one of our team. We only have a few slots. So we don't only do this pretty small webinar live attendees, but if you see some open spots on this, you can book a call. If you can't make the call, we can always reschedule it. We only have a few calls left because we did this last week and we got some booked up. But basically, is you'll book a time, fill it out, schedule a meeting. It should trigger a roadmap link. That roadmap link is a form to fill out. And so basically, you will put information in there, and it will then create a roadmap, and on the call, we'll give you the roadmap. It's a free roadmap, and you'll get that as a take home, regardless of your call's outcome. So completely free. We only have a few slots available the next couple of days. So fill it out, book a time. But the next step is to fill out the information on the roadmap so we can actually, on the call, we can go over that roadmap with you.
Absolutely.
If he asks, what is a good score for PSAT and the minimum? Well, the low scores are 320. You don't want to get that. You
Mm.
want to get as high as possible. So it depends on what state you're in. What is your state? I can look it up real quick. What is a good, and what are we talking about to get scholarship? Minimum score for scholarship. Let's see here. So that was 217. So if you reverse engineer that, so 217 last year. So we said what? Divide by 10. So
Yep.
217 times 10. So 2170. If you divide that in half, it's like 1,085 on both. So you want to get, I mean, it could be a combination, but basically 1,085 on the math and the reading.
Yeah. And I think typically they do, from my understanding, if you get like a 1200 or above on that PSAT, it's considered to be a pretty good, you're putting yourself in a pretty good position. Um, and I mean, I don't know if, if that's just in my state, but I know that the 1200 above on the PSAT, you're putting yourself at a pretty good
Yeah,
point.
especially if you could do that. And if he is yours, sorry, are you a 10th, your child a 10th grader that you're talking about for this one? Yes. Sorry. So did they take the PSAT already? Okay, cool. They go well. So 10, like, you didn't get your score back, did you? Not yet. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I mean, again, you're still have a year to like plan this out. So,
Mm. Hmm.
sorry. So what was the score? What were we looking at? It was 2170. I'm trying to reverse. I'm obviously really bad at math. So 217. So divided by 2 is 108.5 times 10. Yeah. Okay. So so I mean, that would be Georgia's was 1085.
Oh yeah, so like around, yeah.
So I got that.
I just know that I've heard of,
No,
from
1200, you're right. I mean, that's yeah, I'm just
you're putting yourself at an excellent position, but I think the typical average in general is around like 960 to like 1000 for students. Like as an average, I think you were asking about, I don't know what the minimum is, but I believe that's typically the average, quote unquote. Um,
yeah.
and that was looked up a while ago, so it may have shifted or it may have changed, but I know 1200 you're at a good point, and then anywhere from like that 950 to 1000, the 900 range to 1000, you're setting yourself up for around the average.
Stacy, I have a junior just took PSAT this morning. She just had
Mm.
one chance to score well to qualify for National Merit Scholarship for the PSAT, but did she take the SAT yet? Because there's other money attached to the SAT. So yes, but you still have other opportunities to get it. So
Mhm.
did she say how it went, Stacy? Just okay. So gotcha. Okay. So just if you do fill out a roadmap request, you're going to get this really nice PDF basically showing where your students at, their target schools, and we use data to just derive this, so common data set, and then we have a roadmap. Now, they didn't give us any information, that's why it says not available. So you do need to fill it out as best you can. It will generate based on your results, but you do have a walk away from that. And again, if you want one of the very limited spots tonight, you need to either put that into your URL tinyurl.com/college roadmap, book a call and get the roadmap link, or scan the QR code and take it. Because we have an admissions advisor that will go over it with you and let you know what the next steps are that you should take to make it happen. Stacy, any plans to take the PSAT? Or sorry, not the PSAT, the SAT. I'm sorry. Or did she already take it? Okay, November. Is she studying for that? Is she already working on that? Hopefully, doing some prep. Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Good luck. First time then. You could take it again as well. Super score it. Any other questions? Any other questions from anyone still watching that we can answer? Again, I think we have a couple people. We have a call. Someone booked a call. So we probably have a couple spots left. I think Rashmi's getting Rashmi. I'm sorry, Rashmi. You're gonna get your pre-college roadmap. Anyone else? Questions that we can answer? Oh, Rashmi, you got a call with Jim, right? Got that booked. For my senior, when do you know if he got a scholarship? Can't recall his score. Great question. National Decision Day is May 1st, and usually the final national merits. So if you get information along the way, but like you really don't find out until spring of their senior year. So, and they have to indicate those schools on the PSAT when they take it too, which is kind of tricky. Good question. Any other questions? Again, we still have a couple spots left for the free roadmap. So all you have to do is book a call with our team, fill out the form, and on that call, we will give you the custom document, literally laying out the next steps. The more information you give to us, the better they are. Anyone else? Anything else from you, Dr. Roslynn?
No, I just, I want to, remind, all of the families that are on the call to, don't forget about those corporate merit scholarships as well. There's additional dollars out there that a student can potentially earn. And to definitely tap into the SupportED resources. If, they have not joined the group AP calls, to definitely try to hop into those. And again, fill out that call for a roadmap. I mean, I think, like we said, if you want to, be most successful, then, get the resources that are available to you, while you can, and, prepare yourself accordingly. But I think this has been overall a great discussion, and, you all have access to this video to look back at, and, just in case you need these additional resources again. So that's all for me. Definitely great questions from the families, and,
Yeah.
Wishing success to their students. I think we do have one other question from Larissa. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. Heading out of town, so can't do a call this week. Yeah. So here's what go ahead and book the call, Larissa, and then we'll call and confirm, and we'll just reschedule it when we have more openings. They're usually dependent, so we can get you back on the calendar. So just go ahead and book it, get your roadmap. There'll be some automated text messages that you get. Jim, one of our advisors, will reach out. Just tell him you want to rebook it for the next week. He'll get you on the calendar when he has an opening. No problem. We are currently working. We have 21 seniors in our college admissions program that we're working with to get across the finish line for their applications and deadline. Dr. Roslynn works with a lot of our juniors, and 25 in our program right now. we've been working with the majority of our juniors since May,
Mhm.
because you need the planning throughout the year to align that. But our sophomore families, we actually have a few openings. We're working with only about 15 sophomores currently. And honestly, they have probably the best chance at going super select top schools, saving the most amount of money because the strategies are implemented now that
Mhm.
can prove the dividends later. So like a lot of people are especially the junior year. I love teaching juniors. Juniors are some of the best students.
Mhm.
They're so motivated. They lose all that motivation the next year as seniors, but it is the craziest year for families. Junior
Yeah.
year is you got the SAT, you got the PSAT, you got the GPA counts. Um,
Mhm.
Waiting, if you're going to get help, regardless if you're going to reach out to us or someone else, waiting is the absolute worst thing you could do for your kid.
Mhm.
Why? Just like if you waited to started saving money for retirement in your 40s versus in your 30s or your 20s, you're going to have a lot less options. A person
Mhm.
that starts investing in their 20s consistently will retire with millions of dollars as opposed to someone in their 40s will not.
Mhm.
Why? Because compound interest compounds. So the more you can get a strategy in place and locked in longer, your child is going to have more options, not less. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, go ahead.
I know I was going to say that's such a great point because although I work with majority of the juniors, I do have a few sophomores on my, caseload, and I just met with one yesterday, and I'm just blown away by the amount that she has taken on her sophomore year, and she's already taken the PSAT. And she's already talked to you, Dr. Joe, about, she was really interested in getting to one of the AP courses this year that she wasn't able to get into her sophomore year, but it allows a student to align their pathway earlier with what classes they need to take, the expectation of those exams, and again, just setting themselves up to receive, that merit scholarship at the end of that, high school career. So I would definitely strongly encourage, if there are any sophomores on the call that have not started receiving those services, to definitely, get that up and running. Again, the juniors are also fantastic, but you know, just meeting with that student yesterday and hearing that she's already taken that, she's already had a call with you, Dr. Joe, and setting up her AP courses for, for her junior year and just thinking ahead. I think she's really going to benefit from that.
Yeah, and I know the holiday season's coming up upon us really quickly.
Hmm.
So people are going to be distracted. I will just tell you, if you are going to potentially want internships, research projects, starting passion projects,
Hmm.
the competitive internships, the competitive research projects, they open like January 1. They
Hmm.
open their deadlines are very quick early in the 2026 year. Not having guidance in place will cause your child, especially junior, to miss those key deadlines.
Hmm.
We had a lot of kids come in on April and May, literally just missing the deadline. So you think of the year like this, like right now is the best time. Get it in before the holiday season. The holiday season, you're gonna be distracted if you don't have coaching already in place. And then your time as a junior or a sophomore, timeline dependent from January to March to get all those super competitive programs in. And then you're in AP season. And so by the time
Hmm.
you get to this, you're already a rising senior. And that's too little too late to really put a competitive. Now we've worked with seniors like that, but your options are so much more limited. So if you're
Right.
thinking of, I want to get into a top school, how do I do this? How do I make sure I'm doing the right things? Book a call, we'll show you. If you're thinking of, hey, I don't want to spend hundreds of $1,000s on my child's education, although I want them to go to college, I'm not sure how to navigate this. Book a call and we'll show you. It's literally that simple. And if you want to work with us, we'll invite you to, but you don't have to. We'll give you the free roadmap and we'll show you exactly what to do it. Unfortunately, you as parents have a one versus one opportunity, right? You have one chance to kind of get it right. If maybe fortunately, if you screw up with the oldest child, you get a second one, right? But for many of you, you're only going to do this once or twice. It is different than when you and I went to school. We are professionals. We do this daily, and we do we do help a lot of kids with this. So we're not doing it for the first time. And thank you for that answer too. That big employers like Google, Boeing, they all offer corporate merit scholarships for employee dependents. So just to answer that question. So with that, bring us to the end. We're about 10 minutes early from the hour. So if you have any other questions, go ahead and ask them one last time before we jump off. I think we have maybe one more spot available for our college roadmap calls. I'm going to just put this in the chat. I didn't do this. I failed to do this earlier. But if you're on the chat and you want the link for later, go ahead and book that call. Again, we can always relocate the call. And I think someone else book a call. So I think we have like a couple spots left for Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday. Any other questions? People still hanging on? Catalina joined late. You got all your questions answered. Sarah joined late. Did you get your questions answered? You got any questions for us? How to make college free? That's what we're doing. We're making college free for families. All you got to do is leverage a couple things correctly. All right. I think Stacy booked the call. Larissa, anyone else? There's a link. If you can't make the time, and you want the roadmap and you want someone to go over it, book a call. There'll be an automated text message that goes out. You'll fill out the form. We'll literally move the time. We'll reschedule it next week. That's completely fine. Okay. Dr. Roslynn, thank you for your time. And then you
Thank you.
This
was awesome.
You got to go back to coaching probably.
I do actually have an appointment here in about a half hour. So looking forward to
good
it
luck.
though.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All
you
right.
guys have a great one.
Everyone,
Bye-bye.
thank you for joining. Have a good rest of the week. See you later.